just like I promised you guys, we are going to be raw for this for January. And so this is the last day of January, so we're continuing with the raw diet. And so what I have for you today, so I'm going to get off the screen a little bit and so that I can show you guys what is in front of me, and hopefully you guys can see that. But some of this I had to do in advance. And didn't want to be blending on camera. Of course, you see I've got all my Wakana goodies, my Power Water Soluble, my culinary oil. I am out of culinary oil. I use it so much I realized I was out of culinary oil, but I do have the Culinary Infusion 400 milligrams, which is the Delta 8, and I also have the 1000 milligram Culinary Infusion, which is the CBD. And of course, this is my go-to thing because I'm a lightweight. But let me tell you what I am making today. I am making the mock chicken. So I have been going to raw restaurants and vegan restaurants, and they have all of these, you know, pseudo chicken and things like that. And I'm like, and they're expensive. So I'm trying to get into a habit of making things for myself, if at all I can. And so today I'm going to show you guys how to make a raw, it's like mock chicken. So you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it Shannon's chicken. Okay. And so what we're going to do is, so there's two parts to this. There's the dressing and then there's the vegetable mix. So for the dressing, we have 2 cups. We use 2 cups of, so the recipe that I found said 2 cups of cashews. Don't you know I do not eat cashews anymore. And so because I'm eating for my blood type, and so whenever the recipe calls for cashews, I use walnuts because I love walnuts now. And then, so the reason they probably call for cashews because they're a lot softer, they're easier to blend and all of that. So what I do is I just take a bowl and I soak my cashews in it at least 20 minutes. If you don't have a whole lot of prep time, definitely use 20 minutes. But I've even soaked my walnuts for overnight. And so that way they've absorbed some of the water. I use alkaline water. And this is just a prop because I now have a 5-gallon jug of alkaline water in my house that I dispense out of. But so I soak this so that the walnuts are soft, and then so the recipe calls for 2 cups of what I use is the organic walnuts, and then 5 tablespoons of organic lemon juice. Now you can buy organic lemon juice. I just squeezed it myself with some organic lemons. And then, so the next ingredient is 2 to 7 tablespoons of water. I definitely use my alkaline water or the one that I dispense out of the jug, but you can use any kind of filtered or purified water, and you only add that as needed. Now I will say that this recipe calls for 2 to 7 tablespoons, but I needed a little more when I did it because I just wanted the dressing that was going to be added to it to be a little more wet. And then so 1 clove of garlic, and I don't have the garlic in this screen, but 1 clove of garlic, and 1 tablespoon of organic green onions, and you're gonna chop those. You're just gonna, they don't have to be finely chopped. They're gonna go into the I use a Vitamix, but they can go into your blender. So you're gonna use that chopped, and then 1 tablespoon of organic 1 teaspoon of organic dill weed chopped. Now I didn't have that because I just left the grocery store. I promise you, I just left the grocery store, and it is on my receipt, but it was not in my bag when I got in the house. So this, you can use the dill weed, but I don't have it in here. And then 1/2 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. And then, so for the mixture, you're going to use so let me show you how to do the dressing. You're just going to take all of those ingredients that I just mentioned, the walnuts, the lemon juice, the water, the garlic, the green onions, the dill weed if you have it, and the Himalayan salt. You're going to put that in your blender. You're going to blend it up until it's all mixed. If you have to you know, stick something in there after you've stopped the blades to just chop it up to make sure that it's all evenly mixed. You're going to do that. And then you're going to make the vegetable mixture. Now, the vegetable mixture calls for 1 organic red bell pepper. I don't eat red bell peppers because I'm eating for my blood type, which is type A, but you can use 1 bell pepper in it, 1 organic carrot, 1 cup of broccoli florets, and I always use organic when you can, 1/4 cup of organic red onion, and 1 organic jalapeno. Also, I did not add jalapeno to this ingredients, but you're just going to add all those ingredients together, put them in the blender until it's smooth for the dressing, and then you're going to, for the vegetable mixture, you're going to add all of these ingredients that I just told you about and put those in a food processor. Now, I have a Vitamix and I just use the pulse setting because I don't have a food processor, and I use that as my food processor. And so you just have to make sure that you take care not to over blend it. And so this is the consistency of the dressing when I was done. And it's so good. This is the consistency of the dressing. And then this was the consistency of the vegetable mixture. Now, what does this look like? If you have been cooking with me, this looks like your pulp, right? So you can use your pulp to do this. When we were thinking about what can we do with our pulp, and I just dropped some, but when you're thinking about what we can do with our pulp, that's all this is. The food processor made it into pulp. And then you're just going to blend all those ingredients in your food processor. And hopefully you can see everything on this board. And of course, I like to infuse at the last minute. So I'm going to give you a view of, so this is the mixture that I have left over. Sorry, I'm trying to balance things. So this is a mixture that I have left over, which I am definitely going to use. And I'm going to take some over to my family's house because they are also eating raw. And then this is the final result. Hope I didn't take too much time. This is the final result. I just put them on some romaine lettuce. And this is how it looks when you're done. You can use whatever kind of lettuce you want. I think this is actually a blend. And then, of course, I like to infuse each ingredient. So because I want my serving size to be about 5 milligrams per serving, you can add 5 drops of whatever you're going to use in that. I actually use the 1,000 milligram of the culinary oil, which is 10 milligrams per teaspoon. And then if you look on the top, I sprinkled a little bit of garlic fire, a little bit of Flavor King. And why? Because I am out of my garlic fire. When I tell you, when you use your products all the time, they do not last. So again, this is my mock chicken, and I did have one before we came on camera, so that's why I didn't show my face on camera for a while, but it was absolutely delicious. And hope you guys enjoyed this food and this presentation. I am doing my best to bring you guys some healthy options utilizing Wakanda's product, because when they're infused with the goodness, they're infused and you can't go wrong. That's it for me, Kathy.